August 13th is a long way away.
You underestimated Square Enix. How long did Final Fantasy 15 take to come out?
Too long.
So I always go off of the developer, since it's Tetsuya making it, it'll be good. I don't think that guy's made a bad game yet.
Here's to Pizza Hut. Here's to $7.99 large two-topping
pizzas. No, you might get your
and
wish.
to our delivery captains. Double checking
What?
your order before it hits the road.
You just
so
logged
you
on
get
to
exactly
Battle.net.
what you want.
Oh.
Here's to all.
Who did?
Our illustrious absent leader.
Oh, well, he's on Discord. Like, he's actually showing there.
You mean he moved his mouse?
Damn, the power just keeps going up and up and up.
Oh, I did make that blanket.
Alright. General chat, it's time to tag Zay.
Oh,
Really
God.
now?
I think Zay hasn't had a decent heart attack in quite some time.
What, like a week?
I was gonna say, you're just gonna chase him away is what's gonna happen.
If that's the case, then we are not doing.
Pretty
our
sure
job.
we do that just by existing.
Oh, face typing, this is not good.
Why do I feel like you've said that at every meeting where I've ever typed anything?
You scare me, Faye.
We got it.
What did I do to you?
There he is. I wondered if you were gonna show up, Zay.
Not late. Had to corral screaming kids first.
Which one's us, or...
Who is this person talking right now?
I don't know, he hasn't, made himself known in the last couple of months.
I don't know. I think he's a little late to the party.
Please, someone kick him. Yeah, can we just perma-mute him and Discord, please?
All in favor for Global Mutant Candaria, say aye.
I don't
Eyes
support Global Media in Candaria with that pun.
All
I veto. I thought it was a good.
Nay.
All opposed to Global Mutant Candaria, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it. Candaria is Global Mutant.
He actually has been kicked out of the guild too. Awesome.
What?
Thanks, Henry.
What?
Thanks, Henry.
It's
It's a winning night.
Wow.
Oh, someone invited him back.
Wow. Y'all are mean.
More like a
I
deathly
felt so
night.
clean just for those 10 seconds. And now I feel tainted again.
Let me know when you're ready, Snow. I'll record.
I think Zate's starting us off.
Oh, I am.
We're letting Zate talk.
No, I think
Hold on,
Snow is the master of ceremony tonight.
Hold on. We all know how the meeting that I ran last month did. We got out of here in 30 minutes. You guys really want to be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, I got nothing
yeah.
to do.
We have to wait for
Hello.
Zate to finish typing.
They love the sound of my soothing, methodical voice.
That's why I talk so
Hold on. I'm going to get comfortable and get ready to take a nap.
Oh my words, then.
It's
You're
okay,
protect-
Zate. I support you.
Oh, thank you.
Because you two talk forever.
Suck up.
That means they just talk a lot. So I know the pain.
Yeah, I've had to be in a meeting with both of you.
I know, it was fun too, wasn't it?
No, I think I actually did fall asleep.
All right, Leigh, are you recording?
I am now.
All right, let's start with shoutouts. Who's got some shoutouts to give?
I'd like to give a shout out for every team leader that decided to make the jump. It's going to be a lot of work, and you all put your faith in EK, so pat yourselves on the back.
I want to go ahead and give a shout out to C Team Centurion for getting their Argus kill.
Woo!
Any more shout outs?
I have a couple.
Let's do it.
I want to shout out Mishka, who I don't think is here tonight, but again, he's been running achievement runs for Endless Kingdom and doing a great job and getting people achievements. So shout out to Mishka. I put in an ad for people to help out, and I got an incredible amount of response. So for the many people who offered to help with the alt guilds, thank you very much. And I appreciate that we have so many people in this guild willing to help out when we need them. And my last shout out is to Vin, who's been assisting us with tracking the many moving parts of all the change that's going on in the community right now. And with his help, we're on track and we know where we're headed. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I've got a couple. As for those of you who know me, Tree from C Team Lead, I'd like to give a shout out, especially notably to some of the members of Force that came in and filled in for us while progressing. Notable shout out to Terrorfact, who came in. Nosfero had a bit of a medical emergency in her family, and she had to be away for several days, and he came in and stepped up and pretty much filled in for her completely seamlessly, and actually ended up getting his CE with us. Nos already had it from helping out Cell Swords earlier in the tier, so we were glad to be able to help someone in the team out that I think he had put in about 500 polls with it with Requiem, so we were glad to be able to help him out, and he did an excellent job. Aisha, Force's team lead, also came in for a couple nights, and just anyone then that kind of filled in on short notice for us when we had post outs. C Team really appreciates it.
All right. If there are no more shout-outs, we're going to go ahead with promotions. I have a couple. Both Yuki is currently trialing as the team lead of Titan. And I also have Aisha trialing as the team lead of F team.
I have, on top of that, there are a couple of more. I have a list somewhere. I'm trying to find it.
Saying you're supposed to be prepared.
Loriana is going to be the ambassador for Titan team as well. And I have another team lead that will be promoted that I will announce later in the meeting because of the new team announcement that we're going to be making. So I'll save that for at a later date / time tonight. Don't mind me.
This Val, I have a promotion to announce. Mishka is going to be the royal emissary of Endless Kingdom Horde side.
I have one as well. Alessandra has decided to step down in BFA from doing sponsorship so she can focus on Pantheon. And in her place, Candaria is going to be stepping up as the royal emissary for sponsorship. So welcome back, Candaria, into leadership.
Hi.
Great.
Doomed.
Sounds like punishment.
Yeah.
Where do I put in my resignation?
Yeah, can I switch to Horde yet?
Dun dun dun. Any other promotions?
This is Naya. I have 3 promoted Kick, Denolso, and Defy to Templars in O team.
K team promoted Tex as a streamer and just generally helping out around the team.
I team promoted Leia to recruitment officer. She was already an officer, but she is officially handling recruitment for Imperium.
E-team has one, so our loot lead, Joru, is actually stepping up and moving into ambassador trial. Since with BFA, it looks like we're not going to have as much of a need as a loot lead. So he's been taking on additional responsibility in that aspect.
All right, any more promotions?
I think we technically have 4 other major promotions, but I think Zeke needs to talk about that.
That's next month, right?
Will Zeke be here next month?
Yeah, I'll be here. So I think that's my cue to chat. So, I don't know how long ago. Anyway, I've been busy, IRL, instead of staying up late and trying to sleep in or anything along those lines. I've been getting up at 7 o'clock to take care of my house because I own a house now and it's a bit of a fixer-upper. So I'm tired. But I knew this day would come where the community would grow beyond me, and I have been away from the game a lot, but I've still been in the back end chatting in Discord, and I'm going to explain the changes a little bit now. I did post already, and there's some stuff you can read about it, but figure I'll talk a little bit about it, and then next all guild meeting will be the last one that I think maybe be running that one. But so yeah, my time as the top person of the community is coming to an end, and we're promoting other people to be GMs and to guide us into, I guess, EK 2.0. The last 5 years have been a super awesome privilege, also quite stressful. As you can imagine, having kids and managing, family life with work, and then this as well. And this is kind of one of those things that never leaves you because you're always thinking like, what about this? What about that? This team, that team. What about this promotion? What about this conflict? So it's really been awesome to see the community become what it is, but it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of the things that have happened over the years. People aren't even around to remember, and it's a different community. It's a new community, but it's full of life, and it's full of energy, and it's full of potential. But it is time for me to take a step back and let some other people take the reins and move things forward. So I'm just going to go over a few of the people. Well, the people that I'm basically promoting, they'll get their full promotions or whatever next month as we're trying to work out some of the details, because this is a logistics nightmare. And one of the first things I communicated is it's going to be crazy, it's going to be chaotic, but it sets things off on kind of a new ground for things to grow instead of trying to have one GM. It's setting things up to kind of branch out and grow. And we're working on how to collaborate and stay connected as well, but we'll have documents forthcoming that kind of explain how some of the back end stuff's gonna be working. But the people that are basically taking the reins, and I'm gonna say the name. This is kind of, I think it's when they came into the guild, although I'm not 100% sure on the invite dates on some of this, but it's just gonna be the person's name, one word, and then I'll explain it a little bit. But so Hanti, she's gonna continue to be the advisor. And the word I have for her was impact. She's been more impactful than any other member of the community that has ever been, because she has hit me upside my bone head sometimes when I was about to do something stupid and I didn't do something stupid, or I guess I made it less stupid maybe sometimes. But she's really helped guide and mature the community in a way that added stability and insight. I was always kind of the person that wanted to do something new and crazy, and she was always the kind of person that said, hey, let's think through this a little bit. And it really helped things move forward in a way that was more palatable, I guess I'll say, to a lot of people. So she is going to be continuing to advise, and I'm not going to get into the technicalities of the new roles quite yet because we're still fleshing those out. but she will continue to have a prominent role moving forward. So thank you to her, and support her moving forward in the new authority that she has. The next person is Belle. The word for Belle is stability. She was always the person that had a calm, cool head, would listen to, and here the kids come. The older kid is carrying the younger kid back to the room.
Oh man.
So this is why I haven't been around as much. Where was that? Oh, Belle, stability. Belle's been just super stable. She's seen the guild through a lot of things, and she's given me a lot of advice in terms of what to do and how to think through things. And one of the things I really love about Belle is she always listens to you. She'll definitely tell you when she thinks that you're off or whether you're doing good or bad, but she always listens to you with an open mind and really hears you out and makes you feel understood and valuable, and I've always appreciated that. So she will be going over to the Horde side and creating the ENK branch of the Horde side. So she'll continue to be a GM in much the similar capacity, but she'll also be increasing in her role in terms of a chancellor position that will still be working out. So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of explaining the leadership, the top leadership, and you'll be seeing things come out that will better define these roles moving forward. The next one was Sin. And for Sin, I just have the word fun. Sin has always been charismatic, fun, and engaging, gambling, talking stories late into the night, hopping on and maybe having a little more to drink than he should have, and making him full of himself, as is, I've never done that myself, but, there's some rumors out there. So he's been a lot of fun, but he's also, as he's come back and reconnected with the community, he's really stepped up in terms of taking over things. And, when I was still quasi gone, he's been taking over my responsibilities and dealing with a lot of things that I would normally deal with. And I've gotten a lot of people sending me messages that he's been doing a great job. And so he's definitely upped his game, but he still adds that fun, energetic community, and he will be the perfect person to go over and start the fun, energetic atmosphere and community over on the Horde side. And one thing that's also really impressed me with Sin lately is he's been stepping up his game in terms of, he's not just fun, but he also enforces policies and makes sure that he's going to protect the community and the atmosphere. Next up, and sorry, it's me, it's long-winded, this, learn to expect that, I guess, is Enri. The word I have for Enri is productivity. There's never been a more productive member in the community than Enri. She has done, I don't even know, I lose track of everything she's doing. And of course I give her the green light. I'm like, hey, if you got an idea, do it. And then I come back later and there's look at the post, it shows the community stuff that's going on. It's just insane. It's crazy. And it's a big draw. And it helps the community in terms of being noticed by others. It helps make it so it's not just a raiding place. She's the one that's really creating a community atmosphere outside of the raiding element. And she's doing that by a lot of hard work behind the scenes, talking to a lot of people, setting up these things. And she will be taking over Belle's role as ENK, because she's going to be staying more Alliance side, because that's kind of where she's raiding in her home base. But she's going to continue to double the work, because she's got 2 factions to worry about, but continue to perform the role she's been performing. But she's been immensely productive, and becoming a GM of one of the elements of our community is definitely in line with the work she's been doing. And then finally, last but not least, is Snow. And the word I have for Snow is character, and she's not been around as long as some of the other people, but there's been a number of things that she's done and said that were extremely telling in terms of the quality of character that she has. And for me, I have a limited amount of time and I have to have the max amount of productivity. So I've gotten, to toot my own horn a little bit, pretty good at looking at someone's action or inaction or whatever and making an assessment of who they are as a person. And Snow, since the time she's gotten here, has really raced to the top. It's the kind of thing where, if no one else is looking, if you dropped a $1 bill and, you're in a store full of people and you walk out and you're about to get in your car and someone runs up and gives you that $1 bill, you're like, wow, this person has character. They could have kept that. No one would have known. No one would have cared. But they went out of their way and they went all the way out here. So it's that kind of character that Snow has, where these little things, and it's a big promotion, and she's, in charge of the Alliance side, all the rating teams and all that. And she might be a little bit overwhelmed, but she's been doing a fantastic job. And I have no doubt that if she can be that trustworthy with a $1 bill, she can be that trustworthy with $1 million. So excited to see her in her new role. All of these leaders are going to be facing a lot of challenges. And I also want to put it out there that this was my idea to split the community up like this, and it is a split. I mean, we're all part of the same community, right? But we're in different factions, and it's complicating things, and there's a lot of behind the scenes work that has to be done. That has been, I mean, literally you get on and there's like 1,000 messages of discussion between these people trying to figure out what are we going to do next with the community. So they are in it with their heart, they're in it with their mind, and they are the right people to move us forward. That said, they're not perfect people. There is miscommunication that happens. There's different ideas. I don't think any single one of them jumped at it when I pitched this to them. I said, hey, this is what we're going to do. Everybody's kind of like, well, who's going to go here? And how does this work? And what does this do? And as we kind of like got more people and talked to more people, the alarms were going off. But eventually we came and, it's like, this is what we're going to do. And even though there's disagreement and even though some people flat out don't want to do this, we're doing it for the community because we realize it's the community in terms of the discussion we've had. I have said, okay, this is me, not them saying it. I have said this is the best step forward for us as a community to grow. I feel like we're a tree and a potter, and the tree roots are getting pushed against that pot and it's starting to crinkle and make the roots grow in a not great way. And so we got to take the tree and we got to plant it in a field somewhere. And that's jarring. That's kind of crazy. Sometimes you do that with trees, they die, right? And so we're trying to do it in the best way possible. And people that have, instead of complaining, instead of being mad about things, they're coming together because they care about you, they care about this community, and they're going to put the effort in to move us forward. But they are going to need some support. And there's definitely, blind spots we have. And like I said, we're not perfect. But this is really, as we move forward into BFA, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be chaotic. But this is the time to put aside some beefs, to work with some people that maybe you wouldn't normally work with and really help the community thrive. We're going to have a lot of ability to grow into a new faction on a very high populated Horde server. The idea, of course, behind that is that will help bring notoriety to our community as a whole. You might see some people transferring back and forth. It also adds more options to our community. So you can kind of play how you want. It's great hearing, like, when C team gives shout outs or other teams give shout outs. I am looking forward to people that will have their mains Horde side, but will also have an all Alliance side, and they'll get cutting edge with both tunes or whatever, right? As we grow as a community, that's the kind of possibilities you're going to have. There's new teams starting up. There's new energy. There's new leadership. As I'm stepping back, I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to be kind of talking and advising, probably mostly on Discord. I've got other stuff in my personal life that's really demanding of my time. But I will be around as much as I can to support, but this is really not my show anymore. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share about tonight. Is this isn't my show anymore. It's those 5 people that I mentioned, and there's other people, obviously, they're going to be stepping up and rising to the bar. And, when you have 5 people, one of those 5 people might not be here from a year from now because something happens, they've got to step back too, right? But the idea is, whenever I started this community, the idea was this is a community that goes beyond me. This is a community that, if I develop it, I want it to be something that truly is self-sustaining, that isn't dependent on any one person. And it is the most stressful test that this community has ever gone through, this transition, but it is also going to be the thing that is kind of like my crowning moment where it actually works, right? Where I've actually created something that doesn't need me. And that is up to how you all are willing to come together, support your new leadership, support the ideals of the community. And I've always said to everyone, this is a game. You're free to go whenever you want. The idea is we create an atmosphere in a community here that you want to be part of, that you want to log in day after day, and you understand there's other people and there's conflicts and all that happen. But ultimately, this is how you choose to spend your time. That's always been the endeavor for this community. It will continue to be the endeavor. And how you decide to spend your time supporting this community, that's the endeavor moving forward for yourself, obviously, but also involving more people in the community to help it grow. Because there's other people out there that aren't here yet that are absolutely needed here, and they're going to have awesome creative ideas, and you're going to be part of bringing those people in and establishing new leadership and supporting new leadership and continuing the next legacy, next season, whatever you want to call it, of our community. So I have 100% confidence in our new leadership. I have 100% confidence in this community. I understand this is stressful. I understand it's crazy and chaotic. So the last thing I'll say, and then I don't know if any of the new 5 leaders wants to say anything, or if I didn't cover things perfectly, there might be something I'm missing. But back when I was trying to create a guild, I told people I want to have 3 teams, and I want to have like one of those teams be like a cutting edge, pushing top 100 US and all that. People told me I was crazy, that it couldn't be done, that it was impossible, that it was insane. And it was crazy. It was chaotic. It was nuts. There was teams that, I mean, I was building a team, and then the second we got built, it got a little bit stable. The main team was falling apart, and then we dissected the team. We did that multiple times to keep going because I was building this all from scratch. I didn't have a group of core people that knew me that were helping me do this. It was, going and plugging and finding a few leaders here and there. And, then those leaders weren't the right leaders, and I had to replace them, some for various reasons, right? All this drama. There's a long trail of bodies. But I remember we had two teams. We had a weekday team and a weekend team. And I said, we're going to start up a third team. People did not like this idea. I literally had one of the top officers just peace out, stressed out, didn't believe in the vision, didn't believe in me as a leader, all that kind of stuff, right? But we pushed it, we made it work, and it was those hard decisions that cost teams. I mean, there's decisions we made that I've made, right, that cost teams. Like you think that, you made a decision, like, you make a decision a lot of times with leadership is like a raider or not. I was making decisions on teams or not, right? Like I'd make a bad decision and all of a sudden team's not there. It was stressful, it was hard work. But I remember getting my leaders together and saying, hey, we're gonna start a third team. And they fought with it, but ultimately they realized this is what we're gonna do, and we have to do this new crazy idea that doesn't make sense. And they did it, and we came together. Not everyone, right? Some people pieced out, but it's that decision. It's like that moment, and we're having it again right now. And it feels a little bit challenging, right? And it should, but I assure you it's possible. I've talked to a lot of people. I've looked at a lot of things from a lot of different angles. This is our best move forward. We're ready as a community. Our leaders are ready. We can do this. But again, whether this is a smashing success or not is really going to depend on you, the person sitting here listening to me, and conveying this to other people and really getting on board and supporting this and telling your friends and getting more people behind what we're trying to accomplish as a community. And that's it. That wasn't an hour and a half. Sorry. Someone kicks in, elbows in.
I'm awake.
So anyway, it's been a privilege. I will have some things to say at the next meeting too. I think it's going to be a Friday, the 1st August, and that's when we were actually going to change over the GM roles to other people. So I'll have a few more things to say. You'll have to stomach me one more meeting. But effectively, I am not calling the shots anymore. It is those 5 are working together to make the decisions moving forward. They're pushing the ball forward down the hill.
Hey, we try.
All right. Well, I think then the next part of the meeting then is reports. Or were you going to say something else?
Me? No, I'm good.
Let me just mute him real quick.
Ooh, ow. Gotta twist that knife as I'm going out. I understand.
I think anyone can mute
I know the thing that makes me the most nervous about this is like, how soon is it before I get a kick? Like no one can pick on you, right? Because I am like on the top of the food chain. I'm like, how long is it going to be before I get put in the stockade? See. All right.
All right. So then, go ahead.
I was just saying I won't let him put him in the stockade.
I think you should do it like the second.
I know.
Oh, somebody needs to do it. Really needs to do it.
Stockade Chancellor.
Well, the question is, how much are you going to pay me?
I'll find money.
Entrepreneur at work here.
So, do I get the official rank now of Guild Executioner?
Yes.
Jeez.
You always had that rank?
You'll get your 10 in the mail.
All right, gonna go ahead and go with reports. Was going to start with the state of EK Alliance. So 4 heroic and 7 mythic teams decided to stay Alliance. The 4 heroic teams are Gallant, Harbinger, Kismet, and Titan. And just a quick rundown of what they're up to. Gallant is currently just sort of doing achievement runs, older mythic runs, just sort of doing some fun stuff at the end of the expansion. Harbinger actually just reopened a recruitment. They're trying to get ready for BFA. Kismet is continuing to clear heroic. They're doing achievement runs. Apparently, they're also still arguing over whether a Pop-Tart is a sandwich or not.
It's not.
And they also just
the important questions.
Yes, exactly. And they also just reopened recruitment for BFA. They said they're looking for a roster somewhere in the mid-20s area. And then for Titan, so Yuki's taken over as team lead, and it's gone pretty smoothly, especially thanks to her officers. And they're also looking at making some changes to how Titan works, because they want to be able to measure their trainees' progress so that prospective team leads, especially for Mythic teams, can see where these people came from and how much they've improved over their tenure on Titan. And they also have added a few people to round out their current raid situation. As for the Mythic teams, Centurion, as we mentioned earlier, has gotten CE, and it sounds like they're going to just wind down for the rest of the expansion, not really focus on doing reclears. Dreadnought, who is currently raiding at the moment, but they are reclearing and focusing on recruitment. I do know they were able to get Coven down this week. Also, I think thanks to some help from some members of Pantheon. F-Team. So F-Team, they changed leadership recently now, and Aisha is their new leader. They are rebuilding and recruiting. They have quite a few trials at the moment. They're going to be heading into Mythic next week. The team has also voted and decided on a name change. And so the team formerly known as Force is actually going to be Fury from now on. So everyone, welcome Team Fury to our lineup.
Hey.
Woo! Woo!
Imperium is progressing on Agamar, and they're hoping for a kill before the pre-patch. Onslaught is continuing to rebuild and recruit. They're also clearing Mythic and Taurus. They actually got a Argus rekill this last week. And they're just sort of prepping for BFA. Pantheon finished 9 out of 11 and is in the process of prepping for BFA. And I hear they're looking for rogues. Although I hear they might have found one, but they may be looking for another. So if you're a rogue looking for a spot, talk to Allie.
It's a pretty bad rogue if they actually found him.
And finally, Sellswords is basically focusing on recruitment at this point as well. And I also clearing, yes. And what was how many times have you done a full clear?
We've killed Argus 3 times. There was approximately a 2-month gap between our rekill and our subsequent kill. That comes from losing all your tanks and about 8 people.
Yeah.
So it's been rebuild mode, and things are falling together. Just putting a few additional pieces in place, namely heals and as well as a tank. So.
And then just the last point I wanted to note is I wanted to remind people of Nomad. So Nomad is one of our internal teams. It's actually run by Ariok, and it is actually intended for alts of Mythic Raiders. And so the idea is that you can use it to help gear up your alts. And I think it's a really, it's especially going to be useful, I think, going into BFA. So I would definitely like to encourage people to remember that run exists. And mention it to your raiders, especially if you would like them to try to gear up an alt, to help with the, some of those comp issues and progression kind of thing. And I think that is all I have. I think next is Endless Kingdom Alliance.
So it's going to be kind of weird how we do the structure because I'm probably just going to talk about the E&K stuff later when I go over more so the community stuff. But this month we were able to commission an Endless Kingdom logo for the guild and for those 2 branches. So thank you to all of the patrons that have made that possible. We've been able to really do a lot of incredible stuff as a result of your generosity. But like I said, I'll mention some of the other more specific things later.
I guess that's I'm next then. Horde, right?
Yes.
So currently we have 4 teams, or 4 mythic teams and 1 heroic team moving over to EK Horde side. We have Umbra, Eternity, Ascension, the new L team, which is the reformation of Beast team, who I will, it will be announced at the very end of the meeting and who will be leading it. And Wanderers, who will be the heroic training team on Horde side. Currently, the transfers are still in the works. Teams are moving over, everyone's getting set up. We will have a banking structure set up on the Horde side. Henry is working hard and working closely with a lot of people to make sure we get fun runs set up on that side as well. Casual members and socials are more than welcome to also have a tune on Horde side as well. And Kaylee is also working very hard to get the mercenary structure set up on Horde. We anticipate that once we get recruitment and everything down and we get stabilized on the Horde side, that we'll have a very thriving, very functional guild on the Horde side with EK as our base. And I hope that I will still be able to see a lot of you on alts in there, or people that are coming to want to raid on Horde side. I hope to see a lot of you on that side as well. And for those of you that don't and are remaining on the Alliance side, I hope to see you all out in the world during Warfront so I can, kill you and take your body.
Bring it. No war mode?
That would require you to actually not be dead, Sin.
Oh.
Exactly.
Stoke the fire.
We will destroy the Alliance.
Never.
So yes, it's a lot of work on the Horde side, but for the people that have chosen to come over and from all the support we've gotten from Henry, Snow, Belle, Kindaria, Allie, just everybody in general is what's making this transition possible. So thank you to everyone and all of you. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Okay, I think it's my turn.
It is.
Endless Kingdom Horde and Alternal Kingdom Horde are a thing now. We just created the 2 guilds last weekend, and I installed Greenwall and have it active. So if you're Horde side, turn on your guild spam and your officer chat if you're a Templar in the Greenwall settings. And if you don't know how to do that, I linked in the Horde chat in Discord earlier today a post that talks about how to use Greenwall. Some logistical stuff. Now that we have Endless Kingdom and Alternal Kingdom Horde side, we need to move the Noble Citizens and the Grand Alt tunes from Eternal Kingdom Horde to their respective guilds. You should have 1 main in Eternal Kingdom total. So if your main is Alliance, your Horde tune is an alt and belongs in the Eternal Kingdom. We do have a lot of room right now, so this might not make a lot of sense to people, but we expect to grow really quickly with the beginning of the new expansion. So we want to go ahead and put people where they belong now so we don't have to move them later, because it's a big pain in the rear to move people. So let me know or talk to Mishka, or Wirio can help, or talk to your Templar. Anybody can get you into Alternal Kingdom. And if you're a Noble Citizen, talk to the social team to get help, or talk to me. Speaking of which, Mishka is the Royal Emissary for Endless Kingdom Horde, and we'll be planning events as BFA gains momentum. One One thing I wanted to mention is there is an exception to the rule of having two mains, and that is if you're raiding on two teams, your toon belongs in the guild with your raiding team. One other point for the sponsorship program, please use the sponsorship channel in Discord to communicate with the sponsorship team. They're handling both Alliance and Horde. So with the transition from Alessandra to Candaria, Alessandra is not handling sponsorship at all. The best way to get a response is to use the sponsorship channel in Discord so that the team sees your communication and can get back to you right away. And that's all I've got.
All right, then that means it's Inri on community management.
All right, I will try to keep it as brief as possible. Here are my notes for this meeting if you either don't want to listen or, you know, I talk too fast. I'm just going to go over things quickly here. Let's see. Banking had a lot of stuff. Basically, the gist of it was donations and things have slowed down a bit, so prizes are going to be on hold until BFA. The guild bank increased in gold by a little bit over 400k this past month, so the total in the EK Alliance Guild is 5.1 million. You know, if you have suggestions on how to increase that, send us a message. The major thing here, well, two major things. Repairs will be turned on once the heroic raid opens. It's not going to open before that or after, and that will be for raiders. And then the other thing is that they are looking for all the positions on Alliance side are open now. So if you want to get involved in banking, reach out to Jess, and you can look in the Help Wanted channel too and kind of see more of a description, or you can look at the links that the link that I linked. Moving on to community coordination, we have a new weekly guild events page, which I linked in the events channel. I believe it was yesterday. We've also had the calendar overhauled on our website that looks really nice. So thank you, Leia and Serenity, for doing that. We have several new community coordinators. So as you see them at the runs, you know, in July and moving forward, feel free to say hi, you know, reach out to them. We've got tons of stuff going on. I plan on having an event probably every week leading up to BFA, giving away something, doing some sort of interactive, something sort of fun, I guess, basically. We have a really big event coming up. It's going to be on July 17th is when it's going to start, and that is going to be for all streamers. And giving that, what we're going to be giving away for that raffle will be a collector's edition of Battle for Azeroth, a physical edition that Wirio has donated very generously. So if you're interested in that, you know, get ready, start prepping your stream. That contest will be for streamers only, and that's EK verified streamers. So moving on, Endless Kingdom, like I said, we have a new logo, which is really exciting. This past month, I believe they got another KJ kill for artifact skins. They did a Hellfire Citadel meta achievement run. They also did a Thunderstruck thing. Where was that? Thundering? What is that place called? You guys know what I'm talking about. There's Thunder. Yes, Throne of Thunder. And then the signups for Legion Hero, the Legion Dungeon Hero, are going to start on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested in that. Guild merges and partnerships, nothing to report. Recruitment, there was 116 total apps in June, which is up from 107 in May. 6 of those applicants became mercenaries, 45 of those applicants are trialing, and 32 of those applications are still open. So if you are a team lead or you are in charge of recruitment for your team, please close your apps. If you don't want them, that's totally fine, but somebody else may be, you know, just waiting to get their hands on them, right? So you know, just make it a little bit smoother for everybody else. We are still sticking to the timeline of the recruitment changes. We are in July now, so we are finalizing the recruitment process. Everybody that came to the meeting last month, thank you for coming to that. I expect this to be implemented within about a week or two, and then hopefully everybody will start getting used to it, you know, by the end of the month, and we'll be ready to go for BFA. Social media, the winner for the co-host for a day contest will be announced next week. All anniversary book deadlines are going to be extended. There's also going to be a flyer announcing a little bit more info about that, just to kind of get the word out. So if you're interested in that, please contact Leia for more information. And then, you know, follow EK on social media. One thing I'm really trying to push right now is getting people involved on Twitter. That is a huge, huge way for us to increase our platform, increase our reach. A lot of the fundraising and stuff that we do, a lot of the people that we talk to or that I talk to that work at Blizzard Blizzard or, work XYZ place, that get us a lot of exposure come from Twitter. So I would highly recommend, if you're a team lead, even if you don't like to tweet, get a Twitter and start tweeting your recruitment needs, and we will retweet them on the EK Twitter, and you will get a lot of reach that way. I believe right now only currently one team lead does it, but it's been very successful. So definitely jump on that if you haven't yet.
I have an application directly from my Twitter.
There you go. Yeah, it's a really great tool just to talk to people in the community. Like, there's really nothing that beats it right now. Moving on to sponsorship, Belle kind of covered it a little bit, and like I said, Candaria was promoted to Royal Emissary, and like I said, Alessandra stepped down to focus on Pantheon. So we want to wish her well, and wish her good luck going into BFA. Sponsorship is looking for 2 Templars to help out with the Horde side of sponsorship, so if you're interested in that, contact Candaria. We have also brought back surveys as well, so if you're a social member that's joined in the past few months, you've probably received a survey by now. If you can, just take a few minutes to fill that out and send it back to us. In the past, we used to do voice interviews, but as we've grown, it's just become a bit too much, and we can't have people, tracking people down and trying to have a meeting, all day long. So definitely fill those out if you get one. Going to the website and the forums, we have added a time zone converter because this is going to be a big struggle, I think, moving forward. So Proudmoore is PST times, which is California times, and Area 52 is EST times, which is East Coast, so like Florida. So the things that are going to be listed on the calendar are going to be in respect to what server they're on. So if you look at the guild events page, for example, it lists all of the alliance events as PST times, and on your in-game calendars, in-game, you're going to see listed as PST times. However, if you go play on Area 52, those times are going to be EST times, and they're going to be listed as EST times. So keep that in mind moving forward. And if you're struggling trying to convert your times, just use the time zone converter. Super easy to use, takes 5 seconds. And last but not least, Discord and Patreon. We have a new Help Wanted channel, which was something we tried to do before on the forums, and it just didn't really catch on the way that we wanted, so we figured we might get a little bit more reach in Discord. Other than that, we're working on major quality of life changes for BFA. Discord is going to get a major overhaul for BFA. We're trying to take in, all of the consideration from the comments and criticisms that we've gotten about Discord. We hate, people hate the pings, people don't like the collapsible channels, there's too much of this, there's too much of that. We hear that, and we're trying to take all that feedback in. If you have suggestions, feel free to send them to myself or Zboot, and we will gladly take those into consideration. But those sorts of changes will be happening over the next month, as well as with the website, as we transition into having, 4 GMs and Zate stepping down. That being said, though, there is one other major thing that I do want to announce. We are going to be trialing a new chancellor. We are kind of branching off. Zaid had mentioned earlier that my work is going to double. Not so. I have made it so that hopefully my work will not double. So we're going to kind of branch out some of the people that are under me that I don't necessarily have to be communicating with, because it's not really necessarily in relation to like community management, which is what I've been doing for the past however many months. So that being said, one of the new chancellor roles is going to be a recruitment chancellor, and Kylie will be trialing for that position starting right now. She will be working under Snow and Sin because they are going to be the GMs of the actual, raid guilds. And she will also play a double role, so she will still be the recruitment RE for as long as she sees fit, unless she decides, she wants to replace herself. That's totally fine too. But underneath her will be recruitment, sponsorship, and then guild mergers and partnerships. So those will no longer be under me. That being said, in addition to that, banking will also be branching off, and it will not be a chancellor position, but they will be working with Belle closely as we work on our nonprofit status and getting all of that established and set up. So that being said, what will fall under the community chancellor role, which I do intend to maintain moving into BFA, will be basically everything else. The community events, social media, website, forums, Discord, Patreon, and then Endless Kingdom. And then Belle and I will be working with both E and K REs to, make sure we can do everything we can to support them. But I think that's it. Like I always say, my door's always open. I'll be frank, there's been a lot of crazy things that people have said about me this past month alone, which I'm sure everybody's seen and heard. My door's open. It's kind of crazy to me because I feel like a lot of the people that are saying things about me don't actually know me. I would really strongly invite you to come and get to know me. I think once you did, you would probably realize I'm actually pretty nice. So that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
I just want to say real quick too, when this whole plan got dreamed up, I was really being like, wow, Henry has a lot of work to do if this is going to go live, because it literally doubles everything she's doing, because she just does a lot. So as you can tell, she's thought creatively already and come up with some awesome solutions so the workload doesn't crush her. But just want to acknowledge the, and here comes my kids. I told my wife I was done talking so the kids could come out, so that's how that works. Just the amount of workload, logistically speaking, okay? I'm not talking, I mean, there's like a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of stuff going to everybody. I'm just talking logistically speaking. Henry got the tip of the spear when this plan was rolled out. And so the fact that she's been able to so quickly come up with some solutions and delegate this that way, and keep things going and have an actual clear plan and vision for the community moving forward in her area is pretty darn impressive. So I just want to applaud her effort in that. And in terms of everyone else, like, again, she said it's not, her workload was effectively doubling, right? She's already like managed it, so it's not. But in terms of what's going on, there's just a lot of need for leadership right now. So if you want to get involved, I'm not talking get involved and like learn about the gossip and whoever else is doing this and doing that, because we're a big barn, and every barn has some BS, okay? And if we're a big barn, there's always going to be stuff that you can focus on and get down about. We need people that really believe in our vision as a community, believe in what we're trying to accomplish, and want to, instead of sit back and play quarterback armchair and be critical, actually put themselves in the game and do something to make the world a better place. So Henry could definitely use your help. All the others could use your help. But when I was talking about how we used to have 2 teams and we were trying to do 3, like there's no one here that remembers that hard conversation, probably, at least no one in leadership. There's actually a few Raiders here that were in the guild at that time. But it's like you will be the people that were here when EK went Horde, like 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and people are like, yeah, I was there at the meeting when we branched off Horde before we became this juggernaut, even more of a juggernaut than we already were, right? You're going to be there, but your option here is, were you there, or were you actually making the next steps happen? So I'd really encourage you, because I'm highlighting Henry here because she technically had kind of her stuff doubled, but everyone's having more responsibility. We're growing. And that means that we need people that are really going to catch on what we're trying to accomplish and step up to the plate. And I hope some of you listening, either that it's you, or someone that could, and sometimes it's not you actually doing the work, sometimes it's you sharing the vision with somebody else, getting a Twitter account that you've never had before. I actually did that, right? And so get on Twitter, do other things to promote the community. You don't have to do something crazy that you don't want to do. Figure out what your strength is, figure out where it's going to plug into the community, make sure you're talking to the leadership and working with them so that we're not working against each other. But there's just a lot of opportunity to really take us to the next step, not just sit back and hope the leaders manage this okay. Like, it's up to you too. Just want to make that clear. So thank you. Wow, you should have muted me. You had your chance. I blame.
It's not too late.
So anyway, thanks for all the new leaders stepping up. And with that, we have a new team announcement, I think. Our revamped team announcement.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
And there was silence.
I don't hear any words.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What Zayd said is true. We are going to need a number of people to step up into positions. And I mean, even if you're not 100% comfortable or I'm not 100% sure that I can do this, step up anyway. You'll find that you can do more than what you think. There were a lot of people who didn't think that the banking was going to work, and yet we made it work. And that's something that, I can't do everything. I'm not going to be able to maintain it on both sides. We really do need people who are going to step up and help with that. So in other positions too, not just banking. So if you feel that you can devote really any amount of time to be able to help out somewhere, let us know, because we are going to need you. And the other thing I wanted to say real quick, because with Inri talking about events that are coming up and that we are going to have Horde events, Tuesday is our first Horde fun run. I'm doing a reset run. If you've got a Horde tune, be there. I want to make it successful. It's at 8 Eastern. So, and I will shut up now.
Yeah, I guess I probably could have mentioned that specifically. Sorry, Jess. We do have 3 runs that are going to be Horde side, starting off basically now. So, like I said earlier, if you want, check out the weekly guild events page and you'll be able to see the split between the 2.
And sorry, I'm here, so I'm gonna keep talking. To piggyback off what Jess said. The support you have, like, it's not just stepping up by yourself. The support you have, like, we are going to be on MMO Champion, the front page, sooner or later. We are going to have gaming websites come interview the leadership of this community and highlight this community at some point. That's where we're going. It's going to happen, right? And it's going to happen because when you step up to lead, you're not stepping up by yourself. You have an incredible support network of people that believe in the same thing in terms of the vision for the community that you do, and they want to see you be successful. So if you're intimidated to step up, like, I understand that, but you know what? It's a lot of support, and we have to move on with the meeting. But I guarantee you, if I said, hey, if you're a leader here, have you felt support? There's going to be a lot of stories of people that, were not sure what to do, and someone came along beside them and said, hey, we're going to handle this. I mean, I see it in various leadership channels, etc.
There's a lot of people to help you and stand beside you and help you be successful. You aren't going to be on your own.
I'm really done now.
Are you sure? We're good. Are you? Okay. So, I have B team stopped raiding and dissolved a little over a month ago now, and I have spoken and discussed, and basically we have decided that B team will be reformed and rebranded as L team, or the official new team name, Leviathan. And I think that's a great team name, by the way. It will be led by Dysalon, who is currently on vacation. I think
Dysalon.
He's in the channel, but
he's in here. Yeah, he's on vacation. I don't think he can technically speak.
He would be driving.
Yes. So, and this will be a Horde side Mythic team that will be starting out. When I get Discord messages, I dread it, right? Because I get like 7 all at once, and normally it's 8. Okay. Alright, so this will be a Horde 3-day-a-week Mythic raiding team that will be shooting for cutting edge or top 100 on Horde side. It will raid Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh my god, I hate all of you. From 10:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. EST. So that's Area 52 server time, or 7:30 to 11 PST. If anybody is interested or would like to know more information, you can talk to Dice, or Kyle, I believe, is going to be one of the officers or raiders on the team.
And myself.
And Shao, you in here?
Yeah, it'll be Yogi on the Horde side, but yes. But we'll be available.
I literally just got, I think, 30 pings from people. I hate all of you. But yeah, that is...
Love you, Sin!
See, we love you!
But yes, that will be our new Horde raiding team. I have great faith in Dice and the leadership that he's chosen. And it's going to be a crap ton of work, but I think it also, it's the first step in growing on the Horde side. That's it. That's enough. Stop. Please. Help. Send help. I can't talk.
And?
Can I stop the recording now?
Have you learned that?
I think that's the end of the meeting.
I believe that was everything. I'm glad I showed up. In the last 30 seconds.
Fashionably late.
Sin, have you not learned from magic not to tempt
I was
people?
leading our team room.
Everybody should tag @Sin in Discord. Just
I
saying.
don't care about Discord tags. I can.
Oh, you will.
I can mass mute Discord.
So, DM you?
Yep, Whisperman game.
Oh, there's Serenity.
Hey, how's it going?
Fashionably late.
think so. I gotta go free the wife from kid duty. Chaos. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming, Date.
Brett, I'm actually just going to kick you now.
Do it. I'm waiting.
Use of power.
I mean, if you could just see what he just sent me on Discord.
It's still abuse of power.
Is it abuse of power if I asked for it, like literally?
No, then it becomes more about. Never mind, I can't say that.
You weren't the only one.
I think now I have another meeting to go to. Yay.
I want to meet with you too.
Let's have a meeting.
I mean, Freddy, we're supposed to have a meeting. You never responded to my Discord message, by the way.
What meeting?
The one I talked to you about?
When?
Like yesterday.
I, on the other hand, don't have any meetings until tomorrow. It's great.
Oh, Snow. Hey, Snow, I want to talk to you. Sin, that's not a meeting request. That's saying I want to talk to you someday.
Oh, so you left it open.
Already out of Discord.
Before we know it, Sin's gonna get moved. Serenity's getting moved. I foresee it.
It was nice working with you, Serenity.
I'm still here, so...
He's still scrolling looking for your name, don't worry.
Well, I'm just saying that now in case, sometime in the next 5 years something happens.
Yeah.
I'm covered.
How you doing, Ken?
You develop like an ulcer from too much bacon or something like that.
There's never such thing as too much bacon, though.
Not really.
I literally put bacon ranch dressing on a plate and licked it off.
Yes, but you're disgusting.
That may just be an addiction.
Gotta get my fix somehow. At least I didn't snort it.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
On that note.
Alright.
Oh, that's where we draw the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Theory, did you do the thing with the stuff that I asked for?
What?
That is so, specific.
Sure.
Alright, let me start it with this. Did you get my DM?
I'm not a dungeon master.
Oh, jeez.
You didn't get her dire maul?
He's gonna hurt you.
Did you DM him in Snapchat? Is that what happened?
FaceTime, Instagram, whatever. I don't know what do the kids use these days?
Back in my day, we had GeoCities.
And LinkedIn.
Somebody say Angel Fire.
Lol. Angel
Fire.
Just in case anyone was wondering, Sin did make good on my request.
What? Which was?
Oh, I had to get an invite back to the Discord.
Oh. It's okay, I covered for you.
Yeah, don't ask Sin if he really will kick you, because he does.
Oh, I know. That's not the first time.
I didn't get a promotion. I'm pretty upset right now.
Well,
who is
that
giggle?
What do you want to do?
Promote one of my favorites.
Sweet.
I think we should make you the speechwriter. And
He
then
should be
you
the
should read them.
speecher. Honestly,
The what?
the one that says the words.
Yeah, you should be the spokesperson of.
I should give him
triple
my
the length
my reports
of our
for the raid teams and let him read them.
We'll triple the length of our
Today
meetings.
we have a team. They are
Nice.
doing
We love
Yeah,
you.
you want 3-hour long guild meetings? I'll do it.
Boy, then
I
Sin
would
would really
miss your
fall
voice
asleep.
if you left.
That's all right.
Do that in the voice of Cleveland from Family Guy, and it's perfect.
Someone would have to
I
make sure
just
they got
want you to
put on speed
say
dial.
something from Family Guy or from the Cleveland Show.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm gonna probably gonna start working on cleaning up the guild tags and stuff, guys. So, you know.
In what?
No, I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
I think it's been a while since we've done a cleanup of the main guild.
We just did one like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's a while. They're supposed to.
Too long.
It's not that long ago, yeah.
I'm still
Oh.
a
Get through
trial
math.
for me.
Clean it up, please.
Jeez. You just want her to do more work. She's stressed enough as it is.
No, she can pass the Hanti. It'll be fun.
Kick Allie, it's fine.
But
That's happened before. Sin
But
kicking
I want to kick the people.
Oh.
I'm still a trial for mercenary.
Who's Allie?
But Hanti doesn't have
Shut
to
up,
have
Area.
doing
G-Ma in the house.
Blarg, I hate you all.
It's okay, Gma. We love you.
When are you allowed to change your name back?
Now, is it pronounced G-Ma or GMA? Kind of like CJM.
It's Gma, and I can change it back the night before BFA drops.
I think
Oh my god, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
I had to correct somebody the other day.
I'm
Calling you
gonna
Gma.
still
I was
call
like,
you
stop
G-Ma.
calling her that.
You know
It's-
that, right?
Hey, Gma, when are you cooking the guild? Baking
I
the guild?
refuse to call her that.
No,
I
that'd be
refuse.
funny if you didn't stutter.
Shut up.
I have a lock for my team again. They're doing the cookies, so I don't have to.
But those are special cookies.
Oh man, I was hoping
Made from souls.
announce the thing that we're doing.
Wow, Allie, I really didn't know how bad they did call you that. They did it all the time.
I won't
Wow.
call her it. I won't. I refuse.
I really didn't think they would, but I guess they do. That's pure love right there, Allie. Pure love.
Hi, Allie.
I know. They totally did it, and they're gonna keep doing it. And it's all right. They don't know the nickname I have for them. So.
G-Kid?
Is it? I was gonna say, is it even you know?
G-Kids.
Is it?
Hi, Shuby. I've actually been here the whole time I was hiding.
Together, I essentially band-aided them continuously and tried to keep things floating for as long as I possibly could. And unfortunately, while a number of people of us were content with that and were able to understand the situation, other people were not okay with that. And what am I referring to? Also, hi, Faye. And that's mainly due to the performance. For a lot of people, it's been pretty obvious that there have been a number of people who've had problems pretty much Coven onwards, and they showed time and time again on each of those 3 bosses, and it's a pretty recognizable same handful of people. But by that point in the tier, realistic steady recruitment had all but stopped. And then pretty much after making the announcement going to Horde, I knew from that point on we would get absolutely nothing. Like there was zero chance that even if I did anything over here, that we would actually be able to continue to recruit at all. Now, people have, then the more people have come to me like, why don't I ever hold anyone accountable? It is for that exact reason. I knew that if I went after folks for, hey, why are you continuously screwing up and threatening punishment and all that, one, I knew I didn't have anything to back up the threat, because it would just between either letting things slide to keep 20 plus people or potentially just had to call it much earlier than we have. And I realize that now that may have not been the best thing. I probably should have just resolved it right then and there, and then just taken the potential week or 2 off of raid that we might have lost, or did something with mercenaries or something. But that being said, the whole point is going to be BFA. I will absolutely be raising the standards very noticeably, and I will absolutely be calling individuals out for repeated mistakes, sitting people, or moving from the team. And this isn't even just probably performance. It's attitudes, it's attendance, It's just everything in general. I will not let that go on like I've let that go on for being realistic here, 4 to 6 months. Basically, once we got through halfway into and Taurus has kind of started. And so a number of people had issues with that. And unfortunately, as I'm getting to now, Zeph had the last straw. He couldn't stand me letting people underperform and continue to keep us from progressing. You know, I had a very heated debate with him. You know, we challenged pretty much my principles as a team lead, and it was a bit of a hairy discussion in and of itself. But I, you know, I defended myself as much as I could. He had many realistic points, and I told him, yes, I know that's a problem, and I'm going to fix it in BFA, but what it pretty much came down to is later is not a good enough answer. He wanted it now. And what I would say, if we boiled down both of our arguments, is to very simple one-line points, is that he basically would rather us not rate at all than to be working with the same number of people having issues on a fight, because it's not quality rating. And to that, I would say he's somewhat correct on that specific issue. Other issues that he brought up that I don't side with him on, and I'm remains to stand by these points. One, he did not like my treatment and this team's general treatment towards Vel. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to back down on how I treated Vel. I gave Vel a number of chances to get his attitude in line. I told him his sense of humor wasn't appreciated. I gave him well over a month to get his act together, and then every time Zeph posted out, he would have an issue with whoever was filling it in. You know, we all witnessed him, what he thought as funny as messing with his gear to screw with the healers or to pull or whatever. I got sick of it. He did leave on his own, but I will go ahead and fall out and say, come out plain and clear, that he was going to be removed as soon as we were done. He was going to be gone, because I was not going to allow us to have to deal with that continuously. So, for whatever reason, Zeph could not stand that both I and, I'm not going to name the individuals, but 8+ people over the 3 or 4 months he was here came to me about him. And basically, he didn't like that I may be, basically I told him I have to decide with the majority of this team. One person is not worth the effort to continuously defend over and over again for an attitude problem. Is he a bad tank? Not really. He's actually pretty good. He got CE tanking outside of this team, and that's cool. But I'm sorry, if you don't fit in to a certain extent within the social atmosphere of this team, then you can't be here. If a lot of people just, every time you open your mouth, you upset the majority of the folks here, you can't be here. There has to be some amount of cohesion. And I'm sorry that he felt ganged up on. I told him he was asking for it every time he made the sort of jokes that he made. But that's it. I'm sorry. A lot of people and myself didn't appreciate it. He didn't stop, and that's where it ended.
And it was more than 8, just so you know. Some of us didn't come to you, but there was more than 8. It was more than half the grade.
And I know a number of people in here don't agree with that, think that I'm overreacting, thinking other people are reacting, and that's fine. You're welcome to hold that opinion, and it doesn't bother me if you want to maintain friendships with them outside of this team. If you've noticed, I've removed them from their Discord and the AK Discord. But I'm sorry, he can't, I'm not going to defend that guy. I'm not going to continually say, no, he's fine. So that's the end of the story of Vel when it comes to this team. One more thing regarding the Zeph situation, and the reason I'm airing all this out is because I don't need a rumor circulating, so I'm just bringing this out in the open. There were issues with Martel behind the scenes with this team as well. Unfortunately, for a while, Zeph was being considered to be in a leadership spot in this team, and so I shared some private info regarding Martel, and Zeph decided to share said opinions and discussion about Martel to Martel, and that's what ended up having her quit. So that violation alone would not have kept Zeph on this team after seeing that happen, but he was quitting anyway. So for those of you who don't know, I've had evidence sent to me of Martel saying some pretty negative things about the team here and there. Won't name from what source. And on top of that, she's had behind the scene issues with their healers. A few of you have come to me complain about her. Before I got evidence of said things she said about the team, I was willing to try to work with it, but as soon as I saw that a good while ago, I decided that if someone is not going to have faith, or at least be on the same side of this team in general, I'm not going to sit there and stick up for them and fight battles for a bunch of people. And I'll give an example of when I have stuck up for a person against a bulk of the team, Essex in particular. I stuck up for Essex for basically 2 full tiers. I had a good chunk of people come to me complaining about him, and calling him an asshole and these sort of things. And I kept sticking up for him because, one, I knew he always had the best interests of the team in mind. I knew he was a team player. I knew that he didn't go out his way to antagonize people. I knew that he always tried to be productive on this team, and it wasn't a large majority. And so I stuck up for him time and time again until he quit. There are people that I will defend on this team, but there are people I won't. And it's up for me to decide who I decide is going to be better for this team overall, both performance, socially, and everything else, and who's going to be part of this guild, as part of this team at least. But they're just, I'm sorry, like, not everyone will always get to keep their friends here. So if anyone has any questions with the Zeph thing, by all means, feel free to ask. I kept a lot of the more harsh language that we may have exchanged private, because I'm not going to lie, he challenged my principles as how I run this team. So I did get a little heated with him, but and I'd imagine if you go ask him, he'll probably have some pretty nasty things to say about me. So if you want his side of the story, he has a strong opinion that I tend to play favorites here, and I'm not a fan of being accused of that. In particular, if you notice that the quote-unquote my people that I brought, Vin, Thors, and Lex, at one point or another, I have either sat or reamed openly for saying something they shouldn't, or I have not, the main point is I have not ever put y'all, the people that came with me, over above anyone else. I've sat. It's the same thing with anyone else that's been here since Nighthold. Seniority has made very little difference in how I've treated a number of folks. That being said, and back to the underperforming thing, I did let that go on too long, and I'm sorry, not everyone in this room will be joining us in BFA. And whether or not you want to come with us over there is up to you, but I may not be bringing you along. So between now and you making the decision, if you do want to join us, you need to privately come to me, or I will come to you very soon, and get a yes or no from me before you start transferring over anything, because I have to have a number of meetings with a good chunk of you before we go over. So please, don't assume that just because you're in this meeting right now that you're going with us, because I'm trying to reform the team. We're going into a rebuild mode, and I'm trying to build this up into BFA. Let's see. I think that covered most of it. So now I'm moving past the Zeph topic and all that. Let me go ahead and just kind of state our between now and BFA plans as far as timeline goes. So for one, pretty much starting literally now up until the 17th of the month, we are now in open team swap mode, meaning that you guys do not need to have me communicate with another team lead to go apply or team swap to another team. I ask that at the very least, if you're leaving the guild or going to another team, that you at least inform me that you're doing so that I'm not, left confused, like, where is so-and-so? So at least send me a message, hey, I'm here now. So that way I can, either change your permissions on the private Discord, EK Discord, or wherever else. That way I can keep track of things. Also, and along with that same span of time, make sure during that same span of time, anyone is welcome to get CE in any way that you can possibly get it if you want to do so. And by that I mean specifically if it's within EK, if you're trying to get with another team that's actively re-killing it, you need to talk to me so I can tell the other team lead that you're available, and then the team lead can choose to take you on, if they have room or if they want you or whatever. If it's outside the guild, that's entirely up to you. It's remember cross factions over or cross realms open. So if you have friends in other guilds that are working on it, or even on the same server, whatever, if you can get it in whatever way you can get it. Just again, remember, if you're trying to do it with an AK, you do need to come by me before you do that. And all I need to, that's not like I'm gatekeeping. I just need to make sure that it's not like a informal mess. I just need to let the team lead know, and then they can get back to me or you or whatever. Let's see. From there, so yeah, that goes through the 17th. And then, but between now and then, I will be sticking around on Alliance to just make sure that these kind of things are taken care of for at least another week, maybe 2. I've already gotten a RE tune over on EK Horde, so if I speak with you and you're confirmed going over, I'm there ready to get you invited, get you your tag and all that.
Yay!
I do not have a tune in the alt guild over yet. Please just be patient. Give me 2 weeks so that way I can finishing stuff here, get my mage trance over, and then I'm going to move my current RE over in Horde EK over to the alt guild, and then that'll be the character that we'll be inviting into the alt guild over there. So just please, if you're that impatient, there are other people who can fight over there. Just check with someone at Discord, me or whoever. So I believe Shal, you said you had an alt over there, right?
I do. So if you do need something, you can message me.
So hit up your friendly neighborhood Shal, which I guess just to touch on a little bit for those of you who were not at the meeting. Shal has been kind enough to help us up to this point. He did start originally as a trial, but he is going to be the ambassador of one of our fellow teams on Horde. He's going to be with the new L team, which I left in the last 15 minutes of the meeting that they get announced as Elson.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, they'll be one of our compadres over there raiding. And again, to confirm our new red schedule, it is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 11:30 PST. I do strongly recommend you keep your Tuesdays open because it's probably going to be our alt night / first 2 weeks is probably where we're going to like knock out our normal / move heroic to. So basically anticipate that we'll be raiding Monday through Thursday pretty consistently, at least early on. Again, the alt night, the Tuesday night will probably be mandatory in the first 2 weeks, and then I may back off on that depending on our progression / what needs to be done. But as y'all have normally seen, and that what I tend to keep doing is that I tend to move heroic out of our normal 3 nights pretty quick. So probably by the 3rd or 4th week, heroic will be almost moved entirely over to probably Tuesday, or we can even negotiate another day, but Tuesday would be more beneficial given that 2 of our 3 mythic days would follow Tuesday versus if we did it like on a Friday, it wouldn't be as beneficial from a gear standpoint. Besides that, as far as everyone planning to come over and the mains you're going to play, given them our roster size is going to dip very, very heavily, still check with me, but generally speaking, if you're a DPS wanting to swap to another DPS, quite frankly, we have the room for pretty much anyone to play anything DPS-wise. Tanks and healers, yes, still got to talk to me. So if you're a DK right now and you want to be a hunter, you can probably say yes. Though I'm pretty sure neither Wrath or Sin are going to play hunters, so or Vaughn. No, I think that pretty much covered the majority of what I need to say here. I know we dropped some pretty heavy stuff. Does anyone have any questions for me? This is the time to talk about it.
What's the name of your tune on the Alliance Guild or EK Guild on Horde?
Man.
It's Unholy Master.
Like, how, when are you letting us know if we're not invited?
Over the next couple days, and I have meeting after meeting after meeting to have, so just kind of like try to work into my schedule.
Over the next 6 weeks, there will be a nightly rose ceremony on our raid nights.
Oh man, can we fund that, please?
And Magic will hand out roses until the people that are coming are the only ones left.
That sounds funny.
Okay. So again, like any serious actual questions, because if anyone has any grievances with me as far as my leading, by all means, this is the time to put it out there. And I'm not going to be overly harsh or anything like that. And this is, you want to criticize me, you're welcome to do so openly or privately. I just want to make sure that I'm not going into BFA with any held back feelings of resentment or dissatisfying with how I run the team. Obviously, I've made mistakes, and like I spoke to about in the early part, but, you know, I get at the end of the day, it's still my team. If you don't like how I run it, you can leave.
And recruitment is that much better on board?
Statistically, yes, and I want to reiterate, as I've posted and said, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's still going to be a lot of work. But is it generally better? Yes, immensely so.
Because, I mean, we don't know how many people we're going to end up with. That's our core group, right? And we really don't know yet.
A precise number? No way. Do I personally, with what I know, have a ballpark estimate? Yes.
Yes, what's your ballpark?
That's my ballpark? All right, 10 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, the way you got to think of it, Lex, is I think 75% of the total player base plays Horde.
I'm not thinking of that. I'm just thinking of our group. I could foresee 8 to 10 people not going along, so it's having form.
Yeah, but I mean for recruitment over at Horde.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got 70. So obviously that's a much greater number of cache to choose from.
Yeah.
It's a greater number of hardcore raiders more than casuals.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest difference.
Gotcha.
And it makes it easier for people that are willing to change servers, which people are usually willing to do. They're just usually not willing to faction change and change servers.
55 comparative to 15.
You can do it with WoW tokens, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone's that rich.
That's still what? 2 WoW tokens compared to 4? 5?
I know, but my mentality is you can only take 250,000 over anyway, so you might as well just take the gold and buy the tokens and transfer.
And as a side note, well, since she's here, I really do want to give thanks for Faye for helping us while she was here. I know she wasn't here the whole time, but she did help us through well over half. So, Faye, wherever you end up, hope you're happy.
We love you, Faye.
Yeah, I just figured I was here for the beginning of Umbra at the beginning of the expansion, so since it was kind of last night, I'd come sit in.
Secretly, Magic says, "Come to Horde with us."
No, Magic has said, "Don't come to Horde with us."
Are we still going to be Umbra?
The language of your people, Faye.
God damn it!
Are we still going to be Umbra?
So I didn't expect this to happen as quick as it did. I was expecting our move for like another 3 weeks. Name thing, folks. This I guess needs to happen a little faster just to make things easier. 1 week. Put all your suggestions for your new names into the Casual Talk Umbra Discord. I'll choose 5, and then you'll get a day or 2 to vote, and then I'll decide. So if you want to provide a potential new name, now's the time to put your serious suggestions. So I was going to kind of let it just casually fill in over the next few weeks and just pick from there. And when we moved, I would do it. But for now, since we got to do things a little faster, week from today, I'm going to set up the straw poll with the suggested potential names that I pick, and then y'all vote, and then that's our name.
You realize by asking for serious suggestions, what you're not going to get, right?
Totally.
Correct.
I've got 7 dick pics coming your way.
Well, if everyone's going to be a jackass, then Magic will just choose the name without a vote, so don't do that.
Team Marsupial, duh.
So you go votes for Jackass?
I just put Marsupial in.
As much humor as I find in going by Team Jackass, I think Sin might not let me do that.
If you need a list of available letters, we can provide one. I think we posted it, a week or 2 ago, but it's probably well into the log history.
Yeah, if you want to make things easier to sort through, should we put it in Team Dream instead, because nothing's going in there?
That's a good point. If someone wants to do that for me real quick, one of the officers, feel free.
We cannot duplicate letters in EK still, even across servers, so we are limited to about 6 letters.
So you guys have already had time to process this, but I mean, this is basically Umbra to some extent coming to an end. It's a good run. It's a hell of a run.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can stay Umbra, but we're considering.
No, I don't need Umbra. It's 10 brain. I'm just talking about this, the essence of our little thing we've had for 18 months now.
Yeah. Let me be clear, just so that no one's freaking out. If I don't let you come with us on the team, you're not being removed from the guilds. In fact, I won't even, like, if you still want to remain in contact with the team in some way, we can talk about that on a case-by-case basis, but, whether, you'll, if you don't make it on the team, you're welcome to app out anywhere else, or make your way into the social guild or whatever, but, yeah, just don't be afraid that I'm about to go on, like, a G-kick spree on anybody.
Aww.
Just a bug tag.
Those are fun to watch.
I may do a small purge as far as getting rid of any inactives that are part of our team that aren't doing anything, but no one that's actively raiding with us. But that being said, this is, this was kind of our last night as our first era of U-Team, I guess.
Yeah, it was the first era. It was a good run. It's a hell of a run. We had fun.
Yeah,
and from the ashes we shall be reborn. Oh wait, Phoenix is taken.
Then
I feel like just to piss off Tim, I'd still be down for Phoenix if we could.
Nope.
Why would that piss off Tim?
Great. So thanks, guys. Now we gotta dig that up. All right. Mini history lesson. Old team lead Tim of this team used to run a team called Phoenix, and that crashed and burned. No pun or irony intended.
Forgot about that.
So thanks, guys.
Hey, Magic. Letter Thor's laugh starts.
Is there a word? Yeah, exactly. Is there a word that describes Thor's laugh, and we can call ourselves that?
Cackle.
But there are words. I just don't think they're
Can we just change it to caw, 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 caw?
I'm so proud of that.
I actually wouldn't mind if it was a loop. I wouldn't mind a loop of Thor's laugh with Ellie's laugh.
Holy shit.
So just a fucking scary laugh?
I'm gonna move.
I'm fucking done.
I'm gonna move to wherever Lex lives, and I'm going to just stay inside his yogurt shop all day.
I believe Harrison said it early on. Don't affect my actual money, my real life.
Free yogurt.
Out of fucking spite, Lex. I'm gonna do it out of spite.
As long as my wife isn't there. If my wife
I'll live on the streets with the 10,000 other homeless people just to spite you.
Dude, you haven't been here. They'll throw you in jail immediately.
I don't fucking care. I'll get out immediately. Go back to your fucking yogurt shop.
Oh, I'm already missing early.
Good to know.
Early Umbra. That was fun.
Good to know. Even in real life, Thor seeks the stockade.
God Thor's obey outdoors.
Speaking of which, Thors, are you actually still stockaded in guild?
Oh,
I swear to God.
It's for like 3 weeks.
If I sort by rank, am I really about to see you?
Yeah.
Promise me you'll keep no pants on progression as a team rule.
That will always
yeah,
stay.
of course.
Are you looking, Magic?
I'm trying to
By the
find
way,
you.
I can also invite to the Horde Guild.
You can?
Yeah, I'm already in as a template.
Who's your tune over there?
It's Uncle Wrath.
Oh, it is.
Oh, God. Now you just sound like a pedophile, bro.
Have you seen my Discord name as Uncle Wrath for the past probably more than a month now?
No, Wrath, you need to change your name to Bush Wrath. I think that's more to your heart.
Hey, Magic, do you got a minute to talk to me, or we can do it in public? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we can talk here, and just give me a few minutes.
Sure, man.
Okay, before I start going off into individual meetings and talking to you individually and talking to officers and basically spending probably the next 4 hours talking to people, does anyone have anything for me?
In classic true Magic. In classic true Umbra fashion, not my raid leader.
Okay. If you have any further questions, comments, concerns, whatever, feel free to message me. Again, I'm going to be messaging the leadership in RE about the whole open team swap thing, so they were not like, whoa, I didn't know this was coming kind of thing. So if your goal is to team swap again, please just give me a hey, bye message, so I'm not lost and I have a head count. But yeah, if there's nothing else, then I think we're pretty much done for this evening. So yeah, like I said, I'll be talking to a lot of you individually here over the next either tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I'm able to fit you in. But like I said, if you want to stay with us and I've given you the yes, let me know when you're ready to move over, and I will swap to Horde Tune and set you up over there. Get you your EK Horde Discord tag. Which, Sin, by the way, if you're still here, did we intentionally not let Templars be able to tag Horde?
On Horde side?
No, Discord.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that means I'll have to do it for now. All right.
I'll need an invite whenever Magic, and whenever you want one of your names, just let me know.
Sure thing.
If you need an invite, I'm on right now.
Let me log on.
Did you find my name yet, Magic?
You're back to Grand Army until you screw up again.
I didn't even think I screwed up. I think Sin just did that.
If you happen to already be over here, guys, you can also message me while Magic is doing things. Well, let me know.
All right, I'll be right back, and then Vaughn, I'll put you first in line.
Thanks, man.
So if you faction change, you have to race change too, right?
Yeah, it will let you choose it automatically.
I mean, I played Horde for about a year. Is there a comparable to human in terms of rep game?
No, not really.
No. Yeah, humans the only rep. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about rep when it comes to this expansion. They put reps so easy to obtain.
Oh, they did?
Oh, they're easy. They're shared. Not only that, getting through the zone itself automatically puts you like I'm 3/4 of the way through the zone and halfway through Revered.
So it's not old school rep farming, not crazy shit. Okay.
So far, right now, there hasn't been a single rep that has given me any trouble at all. The hardest ones to get are technically the ones that are on the opposite island, just because you only get them when you complete your War Emissary stuff.
I'm trying to remember.
Just because I'm not 120 yet, so.
What's the best? Well, they don't have race advantages. I don't know if they have race advantages.
They do.
There are.
They have some of the best races there are. So
what's the best one to do?
For a mage, I would highly suggest you talk to Kin, who has done that stuff for mage-wise.
I'd ask Magic on that one. He probably knows.
Probably
Magic
Troll
Kin,
for
one of
Haze.
those. Yeah.
Troll or
I would say
Magic
Nightborn or
might
Troll.
go the new one.
Magic can't do Nightborn yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
why?
Well, yeah, you
Have
have
it
to
on
unlock it on the other side.
Yeah, he needs a 110 on Horde, and then he can do it.
Okay, I was gonna say because as soon as I moved over, I could unlock the quest because it's freaking Nightborn rep. Everyone should be maxed out.
I've got a 110 boost. I've got a 100 boost. I can just do
Yeah,
that.
you can use the 110 boost for Horde, and then unlock the factions with it, and
do that.
Transfer to one.
Yeah, that makes sense better.
Rep or shall I am on Vin Lane, just like my disc name on Area 52.
Okay, what's your name?
Vin Lane.
Got
Victor.
Way to be original.
November. Wrath got me. Never mind.
Cool. Yep.
So do we keep this same Discord, or does it change?
Yeah, we've got the same root Discord for EK.
Hang on. I gotta answer the phone. Sorry.
Yeah, it would just be a name physical change, nothing different. Just the same as Battalion just got changed, so they just changed the tag and booted down to L. That's it.
Who's their boss over there now?
Irritated.
Over where?
L team.
L team. I'm second in line myself, and the first will be Geiselon. So RE is Geiselon. I'll be the ambassador.
Didn't B used to be Kin?
Yeah.
Correct. Kin stepped down from being a team lead. Obviously, eventually went to CC, and now has moved up to being sponsor RE. So, the main person, the second-ish in line person that was over there from B team, Christo, will still be with us. But yeah.
Man, the more names I hear, the more I'm like, oh well, I don't know anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I was part of B team originally, so.
I've been in EK for like well over a year, and I know absolutely no one.
Seriously though, I wanted to start a team next expansion and I was gonna have L as my letter and you guys took it.
What was the
L
name?
train.
I was gonna say I can come up with some L words.
As I said, Team Left Shark is not available.
Riding on the L train, man.
I was gonna make it Lionheart and I already had a logo drawn. So now I gotta start all over.
Well, you can still make Zion Heart.
Zion. Nope.
No.
It's against the pillars. Nope, can't do it.
Mayon
That would
Heart.
bring back
See?
some bad memories. Well, not bad really, but awkward.
You can do H and B. Awkward.
There we go.
Alright, I'm back. Vaughn will hop down.
Wish that sale was still going on. I'm pretty upset about that.
Oh yeah, I took that opportunity to transfer my shaman.
Yeah, I was pretty settled on Warlocks. I moved over when that happened as well, since I was main swapping. I said, Magic, are you kicking me off the team? He said, go ahead and move.
Did he at least give you the right server?
I was gonna say, he didn't say no, he just said go ahead and spend the money.
That would have been messed up if you gave the wrong server.
You can hold his name ransom if he does.
I think I have somebody's name. I don't remember who I'm fucking with. I gotta go look.
Yeah, I was asked about my thoughts on this possibly happening a little early in the process, and the first thing I did was went and took the name Magic Master and Magic Master.
See, yeah, I found out about it pretty early, but I was also in the realms of L team, so.
And see, my plan, the master plan, was not to tell Magic that I had his name, and then just when he went to transfer, see how many people he blamed before he went and asked me.
You mean the master plan?
Exactly. I assumed like Thor's and Wrath and Ken's and Sin and like 5 other people would have been on his list, and then he would have been like, Vin? But we were talking late at night, he said that someone threatened to go do it, and I said, hold on, and I sent him a screenshot of my character with the tunes already on there from like 3 weeks ago. He was like, no.
All right, boys. So look, I don't know if I'm getting invited over there or not, but regardless, it's been shit tons of fun. Shit tons of fun.
Well, if you don't come, Lex, add us on B-Tag or come hang out socially, do something. I don't know what the master plan is. I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes down. But it's been a hell of a ride. I've enjoyed it.
Definitely.
I miss you, Lex.
Oh, babe. All right, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Come get yogurt if you're in Calabasas, all right?
All right, man.
Will do.
I was in Bell Canyon like recently. I was sad that I didn't go.
You'll be there soon. All right, kids. Take care.
When's it opening, by the way? Oh, he's gone.
Goodbye. I pretty much have the entire recolor and Taurus Mythic preset, and I'm a Warlock. It looks kind of odd.
How dare you wear that much yellow on a Warlock?
Just gold with giant angel wings.
Oh
yes.
my god, you are tilting me.
See, I think that sounds kind of fun for a Warlock.
Okromar, and I will show you.
If anything, if you do like a battleground, that makes you more of a target because you look like a fucking healer anyways.
Alright folks, just update since that part's done. I have let Vaughn go. For those of you who weren't really paying attention too much during raid, notice the guy likes to drink quite a bit, and while I don't mind people consuming alcohol during raid, some comments he made while drunk unfortunately stirred too many red flags for me to want to take the long-term risk there.
Who was this?
Vaughn. He was our DK trial.
Rip. Okay.
I don't remember
I thought he was
saying
gonna
anything.
ask to do an open team swap. Is what I thought he was gonna do anyway.
Nope. He asked if he was going to be invited, and unfortunately, I mean, he was still trialing with us relatively early into his trial at that. Given that we're making the big move ahead, and based on the comments he's made while he's been here, I foresee trouble, and I am not going to deal with that.
Okay. I was gonna say seems solid player wise, but yeah,
I don't remember the stuff he said.
Oh well, there's sometimes other people do listen to Discord.
I don't know.
Other people pay attention.
To be fair,
I say some pretty jank shit, and I'm still in here.
you're past your trial period. If we had
But
to
you're
do
not
it
dead,
over
right?
again.
But you're not playing a dead character.
Is the Mage Tower just permanently up now?
Until pre-patch. Pre-patch, it will go away and never come back. So you got about 2 weeks. Rough 2 or 3, depending.
Basically, wait till the very last night when your artifact's at its most powerful, and then mount them on.
Tell me how to live my life, Galahorn.
You get 1 level every 2 days, so it went up again today.
The question is, are we gonna get a big boost on Tuesday?
No.
No. The
It will
question.
go up 2 levels every, or 1 level every 2 days. That's it.
The question right now is how many levels did Effie get on his pets during all that? Because I'm sure he's been pet battling this whole time.
You're damn right.
You should have an entire army of 25 now.
I mean, yeah.
Do you like those pet add-ons, Effie?
I do, yes.
See what you guys did?
Yeah, I'm addicted now, damn it.
Addiction jail.
Someone get him the latest Pokemon game.
No. No, wait, yes. I've never seen my
I
kid.
actually really want that one for the...
The Switch that's coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Galahorn, I can go ahead and talk to you, but this honestly doesn't need to be super private if you don't mind me just doing it right here.
That's fine, you can do it right here.
Blast. I'm sorry.
No. Alright, Galahorn. I will admit, I was a little bit fence-sitty at you at first, but you did actually impress me how much you picked up on Argus on the recent times here with us. So, being honest, I need to have a little bit more faith restored into me starting in BFA. I realized that your work schedule was hell towards your last month here, and seeing that you did a lot more, you improved quite quickly over time in Argus, I'm going to give you the shot with us, but you need to maintain that, because I will be recruiting other Warlocks during that time.
Good competition.
So if you end up being the weakest and you find yourself on the bench, that's you yourself to blame. So let that be your motivation.
There you go, Gala. Looking casual talk in Umbra channel.
That's very disgusting.
What'd you post?
He posts a picture of himself on his own Warlock.
That's my Orc Warlock and pretty much all mythic priest gear from Entorus because I've got all the off pieces that look like the tier.
That is extremely disgusting.
Riding the angelic lion thing from the cash shop.
I'm trading for over 500k on Earthshock now. This feels nice.
If you need tanks in BFA, I wouldn't mind tanking.
Holy shit, is that a serious offer? Because okay.
Oh, that's what I also wanted to tell you was that I want tanks.
Then no, I think we've established our 2 tanks then. It's probably gonna be you and Ken, Strife.
Yeah, Ken's messaging me about it. He said he talked to you earlier today.
Yep.
What?
Well, what classes?
Demon Hunter, whatever Ken decides to play.
Well, Demon Hunter's looking good next to Spectre right now, right?
Well, we need one in the raid, so...
Okay, that answers my question.
Yep, speaking of which, Hermes, it's your turn. Other officers, let's all get on this one.
There you go, Gala. Posted your one with the UI taken off and zoomed in a little bit.
You even got the staff from BT. Why?
There you go, look at hashtag Warlock.
I saw it.
You disgust me.
That looks fucking awful, Ben.
Looks a little different, not on a Drain Eye.
Yeah, it looks disgustingly bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
Are you gonna make your orc stand up straight once you have the option to?
It's a Warlock, so I'm thinking no.
You're gonna make it look like Gul'dan? Ew.
Thinking yes.
Then at least use the Gul'dan transmog. Jesus. Anything but that.
The Pride Edge just sets it over the edge. I'm just surrounded in a golden bubble.
I'd honestly want to know how many people in a BG would mistake you for a healer if they don't have colored nameplates on.
Just because I like Pride as on the War Turtle, I had to post that one.
Even your orc just looks unhappy with his transmog.
I did have a Blood Elf run by me and go, what the fuck?
I mean, it's a blood elf, so, you know. It's kind of like when you're in LFR and somebody expects people to do well.
I couldn't tell because he didn't /say. He didn't like at anybody or like whisper me. I just kind of assumed it was directed at the orc that looked like a priest. Yes, I will go look at serious transmogs now if I can find my way back to the transmog guy. I'm just kind of hoping that Zandalar is laid out better than freaking Hellside, that freaking port town. No, the BFA Alliance town.
Oh yeah.
Zandalar is hella easy to navigate.
I was not super stoked about that particular city layout.
Me neither.
Someone Magic was like, I'm thinking about going Horde. I was like, couldn't be any worse than this hellhole.
To be honest, Zandalar is 3 sections. You only really need to know about 2 of the sections, because the third one is just a questing hub. And really, you'll spend most of your time down by the docks anyways.
Finding stuff in, what is the name of that stupid little thing?
Borealis?
The town.
The Alliance town?
Yeah, finding stuff there is awful. Like you go in a hallway,
seems better on Horde side too.
come out on another bridge, and then you have to drop down a level, and then go in another hallway and down a ramp, and no. Alright, well the first raid I will show up looking like this.
I will be extremely disappointed.
See if I can make a legit transmog now. Oh yeah, I was raiding back in BT, so I had that staff from you know, at item level.
Doesn't belong on a warlock.
Postbox left the guild?
What's that?
Yeah, what was that?
Postbox, or am I confused? Is that Mailbox's own, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, that's his Demon Hunter tank.
You left the guild.
Was he even in Discord tonight? I don't know.
Oh, he'd already told Magic he was in the guild weeks ago.
Yeah,
after we were done.
Oh, after the
Oh, got it.
Private chat with Magic beforehand.
Yeah, he said he was sticking it out until the end of the tier, and then he'd be taken off.
It's upsetting to go out with a whimper,
Yeah.
but can't help certain things.
Was it scheduled or something else?
Vin, have you been playing much of the Destro on beta yet?
No, I was probably gonna wait to break to actually do any like serious work on the beta.
It was before the Horde thing was announced, so I think it was something else.
At 330 item level, my Warlock is able to sustain 10k, burst up to 20k as Destro. Destro burst is fucking stupid, single target, it's retarded and shouldn't be possible with 2 targets.
Hey. So basically, I've been frustrated the past several nights for a multitude of reasons. I mean, honestly, it's the only reason I didn't speak up during when Magic's like, hey, what problems you got? 1, and 2, I'm pretty sure if I did, I wouldn't be able to keep my temper. I'm frustrated because of a lot of things, have been for a while. He defended people that were honestly kind of assholes. He, you know, got to the point where it's like, we weren't going to kill Argus because most nights we were out 4 to 5 of our main team. Like, typically 2 or 3 of our highest DPS are, you know, 1 of our tanks, at least 1, usually 2 of our healers. What the hell were we supposed to do, you know? But even without that, 'cause that's not really things that he could have controlled, right?
Well, it is, but not at that moment. That's shit he should have controlled months ago when I was on his ass about telling him that this was going to happen.
Well, even regarding that, I kept bringing up that we needed to start trying to do phase 1 now that there was the buffs and shit without heroism. But he wouldn't listen. He said, yeah, we just need to get through it so we can get more than 3. We have maybe 2-3 weeks to get CE at this point. Tops 3, by my estimate. Right? Because usually pre-patch is about 3 weeks to a month before. But, you know, I kept my mouth shut. I just accepted that he wasn't going to listen. We get to phase 3. We've got people dying repeatedly. And it's the same people. It's people like Gallahorn, Bob, fuzzy. Like, I hate to say it, but Hermes also just needs to learn to fucking move around during fights. I get it's not easy to heal, but like there were numerous times between Hermes and Epi where they would catch rage and expect me, and I'm already trying to get to the back with a soul burst. You need to step to the left or right, you know? But, like you said, it was the same people underperforming. I guarantee you that not a single one of them is going to get cut. He can't afford to, for one, but even disregarding that, it just, we'd get to phase 3, and we'd have to use the tree up within the first 5 deaths. And this is ignoring the fact that we're not going to get the boss down. Hero has no chance of doing it, even if we have a flawless run. But also, his argument for not moving heroism from phase 3 was, we're not going to do it till we can get to the suicide phase reliably. We're never going to get to the suicide phase reliably because you won't make people get used to the fact that if you fuck up, you stay dead. Because that's what you're going to have to do anyway if you die before the suicide phase.
I'm getting confused on the entire strategy there. For one,
Argus.
I know, but I'm saying, yeah, that's like, you don't release, I mean, you release, but you don't use the tree when you die until it's everybody dies together and everybody reses together.
Yeah. What he was doing was he was using the idea of, we need to practice phase 3 so we can get to that point. We're never going to get to that point because the tree's never up. You're giving people a massive crutch and telling them it's okay, you can do it. No, that's not going to work. That's just not going to work. You, like, a lot of the people were dying in that phase to the same things over and over, and that's true. But with the current buffs, we could have gotten through that fight even with 2 dead, no problem. But it would be people dying 2 and 3 times in that phase, and then there's no way we can get through it because guess what? There's no tree now. You know what I'm saying? But every time go release, run back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like at that point he should have had people stay dead so that people could get to and practice the suicide phase, because that's also a massive timing thing. I disagreed with his whole setup.
I don't agree with removing hero from P1 because you just need it, and if you're doing the fight properly, you use it in P1 and you get it back in P3 at burn time anyway.
See, from what I was seeing, we wouldn't get there anymore with our damage numbers, and so we wouldn't have it for P3. Basically, like the first time we killed it on Heroic, we used it early, and then, you know, we used it again in P3.